GWM Tank 300 was launched in South Africa just a couple of weeks ago. You saw lots of footage from the SA launch when I showed you the vehicle. We showed you some off-roading, and I had a long chat to Conrad Groenewald, the COO of Haval South Africa, who showed you the features he loves about this vehicle. This is making a splash on the South African market. It really has launched with a bang. So let's just take a look at a few features that I really think stand out. These LED headlights with this bar across the center. It just looks so different to me, and it really is a standout feature. Great headlights, it's bold, it's big. Of course, we've got the test car in the launch orange color, which may not be a color you would consider generally for your new car, but just explain to me how come it seems to work over here. You've got these nice big 18-inch wheels over here, alloys as you can see, but they're still full of mud because we went 4x4ing yesterday and had some good fun over here with it. There's different videos and separate videos showing you our 4x4 action. Really had a lot of fun. Of course, you've got this very, very strong, significant cladding throughout and a good side step over there. These are all important features and what you want. Now, our test vehicle is the top of the range model, which means it is the 2-litre turbo with hybrid. And just keep that in mind. It also means you get a lot of extra spec. So let's take a look, for example, in the back seat. You've got a good handle over here to grab hold of, and thanks GWM, you've provided a nice handle there for getting in and out. Really important, needed. Back seat has got tons and tons of room. And that's also a nice thing to have. Lots of headroom as well with my hat on. These things all work for me. Air vents and 2 USBs for the back seat. Now that's what you want when you're wanting this as a family vehicle. And it's Chinese market, so you even get a fire extinguisher in the car, which is standard for that market. Now again, top spec means you get features like the quilted leather, and nice stitching, for example, things like that, that are all standard features and very, very important for the luxury aspect of the car. You even get the quilted leather on the door. Look at that. It just looks classy, quite honestly, and it looks good as far as I'm concerned. You come around to the rear, of course it's big, it's square, it's bold, and you've got your big spare wheel mounted on the back door, out the way. Side opening, rear door. Swings nice and wide, what you want. And there is a big step over here as well. This is not quite as easy, but hey, let's do it. This is very definitely at least a 2 Allen boot, maybe more. But let's call it a 2 Allen. If you wanted to stack higher, maybe a 3 Allen even. And look here. You've got a nice 220 volt and a power socket over there. So you've got both of these power for you when you go camping, when you're out in the country, whatever you want to do. More speakers over there. Your rear seats, of course, can fold 2/3, 1/3. I haven't shown you that, but you expect that. You know about these things, so they're there for you. So this really does fill the role for off-roading, for family cruising, for holidays, for anything that you could possibly want, and that's really important. The Tank 300s come with a 2-litre turbo petrol engine, interestingly, and in these standard models it puts out 184 kilowatts and 450 newton meters of torque. But look here, the top model, HEV hybrid. Yep, this adds hybrid power to the petrol engine that I just mentioned. The quoted figure from Haval, from GWM Haval, says that it's a total of 255 kilowatts and 550 newton meters of torque. All-wheel drive system. So you're driving all 4 wheels through a 9-speed auto gearbox. That's pretty good spec. Let's see it on the road. Let's have a look inside.
Hello, my name is Michael. I'm the owner of Change Cars and the host of the TV show All Things Motoring. I have one mission, and that is to make a difference to the motoring public. Making a difference how? Making sure that you have safe options, making sure that you have knowledge. In that regard, it is my absolute pleasure and privilege to work with Alan Rosenmeyer of Motor Matters. The man with a hat, I'm the man with no hat, he's the man with the knowledge. Thank you for watching.
Taking the tank on the freeway, it's an absolute pleasure. This really is a vehicle that you could take on your holiday trips. Load the family in, there's plenty space for 4 or 5 with all their luggage, easily done. You've got all the luxury, you've got all the comfort in the top model as well. So it ticks so many boxes. And that 9-speed auto box in this kind of driving is smooth. You don't feel gear shifts. You really wouldn't know what gear you're in unless you wanted to go into manual override, and why on earth would you want to do that? It's just, again, a kind of vehicle I don't see why you'd bother doing it. But it just is a pleasure to pilot, even when you hit slow-moving traffic on a freeway, but anyway. But overall, it certainly matches up to any of the opposition in this category on normal town driving, freeway driving. We're showing just over 11 litres per 100 for an urban stroke freeway cruise, which is not the lightest in the world, but I think I would live with it with a vehicle of this sort. So that's the one thing maybe you could question slightly, but I don't think it's a major thing, and I think it would drop a little bit more because there was some urban factor in this as well. Just take that into account. But it's surprisingly light and comfortable to drive as well. You know, sometimes you get a bigger, heavier vehicle and it doesn't feel quite as comfortable when you in town urban driving or on a freeway. This one just handles it and it just feels good. It feels nice. Overall, I've just got to, you may notice I'm impressed. Let's end it like that. And in fact, at the end of our freeway drive, look at that, it's showing 10.0 litres per 100. So there you go. You see, on freeways with a bit of urban, you can get it down to 10. Not that bad. Coming in behind the wheel, as we always do, I didn't reset the fuel economy for my test, I'll be honest with you. And also, I've done some serious off-roading, which of course will ruin any fuel economy figure. Showing 13.1 litres per 100, which is not great. But I can tell you that has got to be as bad as it's going to get. We did see under 10 on the open road during the launch, and I'm going to leave it at that. You can configure, you can change, you can do whatever you want with, of course, the dashboard. You know, you have all your different settings. I don't need to show you things like that. You've got your multifunction steering wheel, which gives you all your different controls. And interestingly, if I can get to it, your active cruise control works on a stalk over there, but it is an active cruise control, so that is at least a good feature over there, and it does have that. It also has obviously your lane keep, lane departure, blind spot, rear traffic, cross traffic. All those features are on this car as well. You know, the full safety suite is there, so that's important as well. Coming over to the screen, you've got that one large piece of glass, which of course gives you the instrumentation and your infotainment screen all in one over there. And it really works well. It's very effective. Something else to point out, look at the stitching of this across the top of the dashboard. Just very neat, very well done. And then the very unusual effect over here. Don't quite know what to call it. And a massive grab handle for your front passenger when you're off-roading. Those are things you want to see. Now, let's just talk the screen for a couple of seconds. If I put the car into reverse, it's always the easiest way to show you the camera system. So you've got the two different cameras, the standard and the overhead. But look here, because this one I used like you can't believe while we're off-roading, the clear chassis. Now what that does is you can see the rocks and the stones and the ruts and the bumps and the whatever and all the obstacles underneath your wheels. And it also will show you when you're turning your wheels. For example, I'm in reverse, so there you go. If I swing the wheels, look at that. And look at that view over there as well. So the camera system is really top class. It's got everything else. It links to Android Auto quickly, easily, perfectly, as you expect. You come down over here. Interestingly, your diff lock. Rear diff lock only, and you engage it just with the press of that button. Over here, very unusual gear lever. 9-speed auto I mentioned to you. Very smooth on-road, a bit clunky off-road, but I'm not going to complain. You've got 2 USBs in front of there and an inductive charging pad, which worked very, very well. Over here you've got just the twist for all-wheel drive or 4-low, and over here you've got eco if you want, and you've got your terrain settings. Then over here you can go, that's for your cameras. This one over here is your off-road cruise control. Really an interesting feature to have. And that one over here is your magic turning circle. In other words, it locks the inner rear wheel and means you can turn much, much tighter off-road in situations. But it only works when you are in the mode with your off-road cruise control. And that off-road cruise control or crawl mode, you have about 6 different speed settings that you activate through the cruise control stalk over there, and that works. You'll see it in action in our off-road videos. Works really nicely, really neatly. Lots of storage space, nice big storage console over there. These are all the things you expect. I don't have to tell you about them. You know what they're about. So the bottom line of this vehicle is quite simply, it's capable off-road. It's surprisingly comfortable on-road. It's got tons of space. It's got all those features. And of course, the big thing is price. This one, as you see it, 851,000 Rand, fully kitted with everything and with that hybrid system. You can get into the standard turbo version at 725,000 Rand. So you got a choice. There are 2 spec levels, 725, 750. The upper spec level gives you the standard sunroof, which you get on this one as well. So those are things up to you. You can choose for yourself. You do get a 5-year warranty and a 5-year 90,000 kilometer service plan thrown in as well. This vehicle was expected and people were anticipating it for a long time. It's arrived. I think it's going to stir the market a little bit. But you've got to choose for yourself. There obviously are competitors, but being Haval, you know also the price is going to talk. That's something, again, you think about. Overall, I can tell you I've had fun. I've enjoyed this one. So that, if that counts for you, if that makes a difference to you, I'll leave it up to you. In the meantime, for Motor Matters, for Change Cars, I'm Eleanor, and I'll see you next time.